Archaeologists in Egypt say they've discovered a 4,000-year-old tomb near the pyramids outside of Cairo.
What if the most terrifying secrets of ancient Egypt were hiding in plain sight? Until now. Archaeologists have just uncovered pyramid paintings so strange and unsettling that even experts are left speechless.
Yes, there is a...
In this video, we're deeply diving into these mysterious paintings recently found in forgotten pyramids. We'll explore secrets from the terrifying paintings in a tomb near the Great Pyramid, Saqqara 1, the detailed and mysterious scenes in the Pyramid of Unas, and in 2, and even the legendary old paintings hidden in the Tombs of Beni Hassan, Spoil 4. Plus, we'll uncover shocking discoveries from Saqqara, where a fully preserved 52-foot scroll was found, revealing secrets from the Book of the Dead, 5. Each of these ancient sites holds surprises that will blow your mind. 1. Terrifying paintings in a tomb near the Great Pyramid.
It's a private tomb belonging to a lady called Hatipet. We believe that she lived during the 5th dynasty.
Just 1,000 feet from the majestic Great Pyramid of Giza, an archaeological discovery in 2012 quietly sent shockwaves through the community of Egyptologists. A tomb belonging to a priest named Perseneb, uncovered in 1996, became the focal point of attention due to an extraordinary painting found inside. The tomb, nestled near the ancient monuments, stood as a silent sentinel to a bygone era. But now, this painting has thrust the tomb into the spotlight. The painting, created around 4,300 years ago, was done on fine white plaster. It shows not only scenes of life, but also a journey through death and rebirth. A trip down the Nile River and into the afterlife. The painting features boats sailing south, people hunting birds in the marshes, and Perseneb, standing proudly next to his wife and loyal dog. But these images aren't just simple snapshots of daily life. They are a carefully crafted display of Perseneb's social standing, his connection to the gods, and his journey to the afterlife. The tomb's location, so close to the Great Pyramid, is no accident. Giza, famous for its grand monuments, is surrounded by the tombs of elite priests, officials, and members of the royal family. These tombs are often overlooked by casual visitors, but they are deeply significant. Perseneb's tomb reminds us that Giza wasn't just a burial site for kings. It was a sacred place where even the spiritual leaders of the time sought eternal life. This tomb also sheds light on another side of ancient Egyptian society. While the Great Pyramid was built for kings, tombs like Perseneb's were designed to mimic the royal structures, with offering rooms and burial chambers. The paintings, though faded with time, hint at complex rituals that are more eerie and mysterious than we might expect. Could it be that these tombs were part of a larger spiritual network surrounding the Great Pyramid? And what could these detailed paintings, with their scenes of both life and death, really be telling us about the beliefs and practices of Egypt's ancient elite? As we dig deeper, one thing becomes clear. These paintings are more than just art. They might hold the key to understanding how the ancient Egyptians saw death, power, and the mysteries of the afterlife. And there's still more to uncover, which could change everything we thought we knew about ancient Egyptian beliefs and rituals. The eerie paintings in Perseneb's tomb are just the beginning. If those images leave you with questions, the Pyramid of Unas will blow your mind. Inside, ancient spells line the walls, guiding the pharaoh through the mysteries of the afterlife.
Which one is cuter? Like for the dog, comment for the cat.
2. The mysterious Pyramid of Unas and its ancient spells.
This we come here. Come quickly.
It might not look as impressive as the Great Pyramid, but don't let its worn-down exterior fool you. Inside lies something even more powerful. Ancient spells that were meant to help guide the pharaoh into the afterlife. The Pyramid of Unas, built during Egypt's 5th dynasty, holds the first known examples of funerary texts called the Pyramid Texts. These are the oldest religious writings ever discovered. Over 283 spells and incantations cover the walls of Unas's burial chamber, carved in columns of hieroglyphs and painted in a magical shade of blue. These spells weren't just written to guide the king, they were believed to protect him on his dangerous journey through the underworld. Walking through the pyramid's eerie, narrow passages, it's impossible not to feel the ancient power in those walls. Each spell was a key to the afterlife, showing just how important it was for the Egyptians to ensure their pharaoh lived on, even after death. But Unas's pyramid isn't just filled with spells. The causeway leading to the Valley Temple is decorated with scenes from his reign. One of these scenes is the first depiction of a battle in Egyptian history, showing Unus's army defeating Bedouins. Another haunting image shows people suffering from famine, their thin bodies struggling to survive. Was this just a record of a natural disaster, or did it reveal something darker? Perhaps a moment when the pharaoh himself controlled the fate of his people and foreign tribes. The deeper you go into this mysterious pyramid, the more questions arise. What other secrets could these ancient spells hold? Could there be hidden knowledge, buried for thousands of years, waiting to be uncovered? And what do the reliefs of battles and famine tell us about Unus's rule? There's much more to discover in this pyramid than meets the eye, and each step takes us closer to unraveling the mysteries of Egypt's powerful kings. But the story doesn't stop here. Another artifact from ancient Egypt tells us just as much about power, conquest, and unification, the famous Narmer Palette. 3. The infamous Narmer Palette, symbolism of a united Egypt.
So Narmer may have taken 6,000 enemy and defeated them.
Few artifacts carry the weight of history, quite like the Narmer Palette. Discovered in 1897 near the Temple of Horus, this ceremonial stone slab is more than just a relic. It's a visual narrative that captures the birth of one of the world's oldest civilizations. Depicting King Narmer, the ruler who united Upper and Lower Egypt, the palette is a symbol of power, conquest, and transformation. At first glance, the scenes on the Narmer Palette seem straightforward. A king victorious in battle, his enemies lying defeated beneath his feet. But a closer look reveals a much deeper story, one filled with symbolism, mystery, and divine intervention. On one side of the palette, Narmer is shown wielding a mace, poised to strike down a captured enemy. Behind him, a servant dutifully carries his sandals, while the god Horus watches over the scene, blessing Narmer's triumph. But the enemy at Narmer's mercy isn't just a man. It represents the chaos and division that once plagued Egypt, a land torn apart by warring factions. On the other side, the palette depicts a highly symbolic scene. Two mythical creatures known as serpopards, their long serpentine necks intertwined. The meaning behind these creatures remains a mystery, but many believe they represent the unification of Egypt, a blending of two regions, two powers, into one unstoppable force. As these beasts struggle against each other, Narmer stands as the ultimate victor, the ruler who brought order to a land once divided. And then there's the bull, a powerful symbol of strength and vitality. In the lower portion of the palette, Narmer is shown as a bull, breaking through the walls of a city and trampling his enemies beneath his hooves. This image isn't just a metaphor for military might, it's a declaration of divine authority. The bull, associated with the goddess Hathor, symbolizes the pharaoh's connection to the gods, his strength drawn from celestial power. But the Narmer Palette's symbolism doesn't stop there. The use of the white and red crowns, representing Upper and Lower Egypt, further emphasizes the theme of unification. This was more than just a military victory. It was the birth of a kingdom that would last for millennia. Narmer's reign marked the end of chaos and the beginning of a new era, one where the pharaoh's power extended beyond the earthly realm into the divine. The Narmer Palette is often referred to as the world's first historical document, a title it rightfully deserves. It's a testament not only to Narmer's military prowess, but also to the rich symbolism that permeated every aspect of ancient Egyptian life. Each carving, each figure, tells a story of conquest, divine favor, and the eternal struggle between order and chaos. But as we gaze upon this ancient artifact, one question lingers. What other secrets does it hold? Could the intertwined necks of the serpopards hint at a deeper connection between the natural and supernatural worlds? And as archaeologists continue to study the palette, will they uncover new meanings hidden in its intricate designs? Maybe we'll find the answers to these questions soon, but what comes next might give us some mind-blowing clues about ancient Egypt's trade connections. The old paintings in the tombs of Beni Hassan. 4. The old paintings in the tombs of Beni Hassan. Tucked into the cliffs along the eastern side of the Nile, these tombs, carved directly into the rock during the Middle Kingdom, are home to some of the most vibrant and detailed wall paintings ever found. But they aren't just beautiful murals. They're like windows into the lives of the people who lived thousands of years ago. One of the most famous tombs here belongs to Khnumhotep II, a governor of the Oryx Nome, an important region back in the 11th and 12th dynasties. The paintings on his tomb's walls tell fascinating stories, including scenes of Bedouin merchants arriving from faraway lands, reminding us of Egypt's ancient trade connections. These are more than just pictures. They show the complex political and economic life of the time. As you walk into these tombs, you're greeted by images of daily life in Egypt. You can see people farming, hunting, and even going off to war, all painted in bright colors that have survived for thousands of years. Every brushstroke feels alive, showing us how the Egyptians lived and what mattered to them. It's almost like stepping back in time to watch them go about their day-to-day lives, all captured in these remarkable paintings. But these tombs aren't just about the art. The skill it took to carve them out of solid rock is mind-blowing. With only simple tools like chisels and mallets, the ancient Egyptians created these detailed tombs with incredible precision. And there's something else hidden in these tombs. The repetition of certain names, like Bakay and Katie, suggesting that many of these tombs were built for families who were deeply connected and had a strong influence in shaping Egypt's politics. What makes these tombs even more mysterious is how untouched they have remained. After all these centuries, the paintings are still vibrant, and the tombs continue to stand tall above the Nile, watching over the land. As archaeologists explore these tombs, discoveries keep surfacing, raising questions about what other secrets these ancient walls might hold. 5. Egypt's second longest ancient scroll unveiled. In another groundbreaking discovery, archaeologists have unearthed something extraordinary at the necropolis of Saqqara, a 52-foot-long scroll that's one of the most complete versions of the Book of the Dead ever found. This papyrus scroll belonged to a man named Ahmose, who lived around 300 BC, and it's been amazingly preserved for over 2,000 years. This scroll isn't just a random find, it's a detailed guide to the afterlife, and it's the first fully intact papyrus discovered in over a century. It was found near the Step Pyramid of Djoser, a site used as a burial ground for Egypt's elite for centuries. After careful restoration, the scroll was unrolled, revealing 113 chapters of prayers, spells, and instructions to help Ahmose on his journey through the underworld. What makes this scroll so special is its condition. The writing is still clear, the ink still bold, even after all this time. The scroll starts with a scene showing Ahmose worshiping Osiris, the god of the dead, and then it dives into a series of rituals, maps, and prayers, all designed to guide him safely through the dangerous journey to the afterlife. Experts studying the scroll are uncovering fascinating details about how the Egyptians viewed death and the afterlife. Ahmose's name appears more than 260 times throughout the text, showing just how important this document was to him. In ancient Egypt, people who could afford it would pay priests to create personalized books of the dead to make sure they made it safely into the next world. But this remarkable find raises even more questions. How many more ancient scrolls like this are still hidden beneath Egypt's sands, waiting to be discovered? And what other secrets about ancient spiritual practices could they reveal? Maybe the mysteries of the ancient scroll found at Saqqara still hold more secrets waiting to be discovered. But next, we dive into a place where life itself is captured in stunning paintings, the Tombs of Mena. 6. The Tombs of Mena. Imagine stepping into an ancient tomb where the walls aren't just painted, they seem to breathe with life. Welcome to the Tomb of Mena, an official from Egypt's 18th dynasty. This place holds a visual narrative unlike anything else, but its true significance is easy to miss if you're not looking closely. The scene most famously depicted here shows Mena and his family hunting in the lush, mysterious marshes of the Nile. At first glance, it looks like a simple hunting scene, but could there be something deeper? Mena, standing tall on a papyrus skiff, is poised with a throwing stick in one hand, aiming at decoy birds, while in another scene, he spears large fish beneath the surface of the water. His family, silently watching from the skiff, completes the picture of a peaceful day on the Nile. The papyrus marshes weren't just any ordinary hunting ground. In Egyptian mythology, these untamed zones were places where the forces of chaos lived, dangerous, chaotic, and filled with symbolism. Mena wasn't just hunting animals, he was battling the enemies of Ma'at, the ancient cosmic order that kept the world in balance. The details are vivid, wildlife teems all around, birds fill the skies, and even a crocodile lurks nearby. But here's the twist. This entire scene is a representation of Mena's battle for eternal life. The fish he catches, they're tilapia, a species associated with regeneration. The birds flying overhead, they represent fertility and abundance. This isn't just a hunt, it's a reenactment of creation itself, with Mena ensuring the daily rebirth of the world and, most importantly, his soul. The deeper you look, the more you realize that Mena wasn't simply fishing and fouling. He was fighting for his place in the afterlife, ensuring that he would live again, just like the world he helped recreate. 7. Tadrart Akakis, Libya. From the ancient tombs of Egypt, we now move to the vast, empty desert of Tadrart Akakis in southern Libya. Now, picture this, a desert so vast and barren that it's hard to believe anything ever lived there. But hidden deep within the rocky massif of Tadrart Akakis in southern Libya are images that reveal an ancient, thriving world, painted across the rock walls by hands long gone. These cave paintings aren't just ancient art, they tell the story of a land that once pulsed with life. But their survival is hanging by a thread. For over 14,000 years, these paintings have remained untouched until now. Vandals, armed with spray paint and chisels, have started defacing this treasure trove of prehistoric art. Why should we care about paintings in a remote desert? Let's take a closer look. The art of Tadrart Akakis spans millennia, and it tells an evolving story of life in the Sahara. Early images show a lush green landscape with elephants, giraffes, and crocodiles roaming freely. But as time passed and the desert expanded, the paintings shifted too, now showing herds of cattle and scenes of survival in a harsh, arid environment. These aren't just drawings, they are historical records, marking the transformation of the Sahara from a fertile savanna to the unforgiving desert it is today. Here's where it gets devastating. In the past few years, local hunters have begun defacing these masterpieces. An armed conflict has halted any efforts to protect or restore them. Experts are sounding the alarm. Without immediate action, these ancient artworks could disappear in just 2 years. 2 years. Think about that. Thousands of years of human history were wiped out in an instant, lost to time and neglect. Until the fighting in Libya ends and protection measures are in place, these cave paintings, which have survived climate shifts and countless generations, might not survive much longer. They are one of the last connections we have to a world that once thrived, where now there is only desert. Will these ancient voices be silenced forever, or will they find a way to endure against all odds? Just as the fate of the ancient paintings in Libya hangs by a thread, there's another ancient wonder whose story remains shrouded in mystery, the damaged pyramid at Abu Rawash. 8. The mysterious damaged pyramid at Abu Rawash. A few miles north of Giza lies a forgotten mystery, one that has puzzled historians and archaeologists for centuries. At first glance, the ruins of Abu Rawash don't awe visitors like the Great Pyramid of Giza does. What remains here hardly looks like a pyramid at all. But that's what makes this site so intriguing. What happened at Abu Rawash? Why does this pyramid seem unfinished or damaged? This site was built by Djedefre, the son of the famous pharaoh Khufu. Djedefre ruled for only 8 years, and during that time, he chose this rocky outcropping for his pyramid. An ambitious choice since it's positioned on higher ground than the other pyramids in Giza. His goal was to create a pyramid that might rival his father's great structure, even if it wasn't as tall. But as you look closer, it's clear that something went wrong. The limestone blocks are carefully fitted together, which shows that this wasn't a hasty job. So, why was it abandoned? Why were its walls quickly finished with mud bricks instead of the usual cut stone? Historians think the pyramid may have been left unfinished because of Djedefre's sudden death. Could something even more disastrous have stopped this ambitious project? The pyramid's remains, now damaged and worn down, have stood the test of time, barely. With very little left of the original structure, one can only imagine how grand it might have been. Was this pyramid meant to outshine the Great Pyramid of Giza, or was it abandoned because of political trouble? Whatever the reason, the pyramid at Abu Rawash keeps its secrets close, leaving us with more questions than answers. The secrets held by the damaged pyramid at Abu Rawash may offer glimpses into Egypt's past, but even more fascinating discoveries await us next. Prepare to uncover the ancient mummification workshops that have just been unearthed in Saqqara, revealing the incredible practices behind how the ancient Egyptians prepared for the afterlife. 9. Ancient mummification. Workshops uncovered in Saqqara. Saqqara, Egypt's ancient necropolis, is no stranger to extraordinary discoveries. What archaeologists recently unearthed has stunned the world. Two of the most complete mummification workshops ever discovered, revealing secrets of Egypt's most sacred and meticulous process. There's a twist. These workshops, hidden for centuries, tell us much more than just how the dead were preserved. They offer a window into the spiritual and ritualistic practices that ensure eternal life. Located near Cairo, the workshops date back to the 30th dynasty, somewhere around 380 BCE. These were no ordinary rooms. Inside, archaeologists found stone beds, each designed with a gutter to drain bodily fluids during the embalming process. The sight alone evokes a chilling reality of ancient Egypt. Death was a complex affair, and the journey to the afterlife was as scientifically precise as it was sacred. But here's the real discovery. The rooms were filled with tools, jars, and linens, each object placed with purpose. Canopic jars, used to store the organs of the deceased, were scattered across the space, waiting to be filled. The resins and oils that once coated the bodies still bear the faint scent of an ancient ritual meant to preserve not just the body, but the soul. Alongside these mummification rooms, two massive tombs were found, one belonging to a high-ranking scribe, Ne Jesus Ba, and the other to Men Kaber Ra, a priest who served the goddess Kadesh. The walls of these tombs still vibrate with scenes from daily life, offerings to the gods, and hieroglyphic texts that speak to the power and influence these individuals once held. But why now? Why are these discoveries surfacing at such a critical moment? Egypt has been doubling down on efforts to revive its tourism industry. And what better way to capture the world's attention than to unveil new mysteries from its ancient past? As Egypt fights to preserve its economic stability, these findings could breathe new life into its most vital cultural heritage. The discovery of ancient mummification workshops in Saqqara has unveiled secrets that redefine how we view the sacred process of preserving the dead. But just as these workshops offer insights into ancient rituals, a tomb uncovered in Dashur reveals something equally captivating: vivid, 4,300-year-old paintings that bring ancient Egypt to life in startling color. 10. Ancient Egypt comes to life in colorful paintings. 4,300-year-old tomb. Imagine walking through the dry, hot sands of Dashur, a place known for its massive pyramids, and suddenly discovering a 4,300-year-old tomb that hasn't been touched for thousands of years. That's exactly what an Egyptian-German team of archaeologists did. They found a rectangular tomb called a mastaba, which belonged to Seneb-Nebef, a royal palace official, and his wife, Idut. But the real surprise was inside. Bright, colorful paintings that had survived all this time. The walls of this ancient tomb were covered with pictures of everyday life in Egypt, painted in soft yet eye-catching colors. You can almost see the donkeys working hard to thresh grain, the busy markets full of life, and majestic ships sailing down the mighty Nile. These aren't just random scenes. They offer a window into what life was like in Egypt more than 4,000 years ago. Even more interesting, the paintings weren't just for decoration. They had deep spiritual meaning, showing Seneb-Nebef and his wife receiving offerings, symbols of their eternal life in the afterlife. But here's where it gets mysterious. This isn't just any tomb. It's from the end of Egypt's 5th dynasty, around 2300 BCE, a time full of grandeur and mystery. The tomb itself, made from mud bricks that weren't fired, is a rare find. It even has 7 burial shafts, hinting at the complicated burial rituals tied to the afterlife. The German Archaeological Institute, which has been digging here since 1976, called the paintings a rarity. Not many examples of such vivid art exist in this necropolis. These artworks aren't just historical treasures. They raise big questions. Were they showing daily life? Or were they part of an ancient ritual aimed at securing eternal life for Seneb-Nebef and Idut? And if so, what darker secrets might these rituals be hiding? There's something even more chilling: the location. Dashur is home to the famous Bent Pyramid and Red Pyramid of King Sneferu, towering symbols of Egypt's ancient power. Could this tomb and its haunting artwork somehow connect to the sacred rituals performed in these pyramids? Archaeologists have mostly focused on the tombs and pyramids of kings, But this discovery suggests there could be even more hidden treasures beneath the sands, waiting to reveal their secrets. 11. Painting on the burial chamber in the tomb of Tutankhamun. The paintings in Zeynep-Nebef's tomb in Dahshur are stunning, capturing daily life and the afterlife. However, another tomb, even more famous and mysterious, holds equally mesmerizing artwork, the burial chamber of King Tutankhamun. This tomb has captivated the world for nearly a century. On November 4, 1922, British archaeologist Howard Carter made a discovery that sent shockwaves through the archaeological world, the hidden tomb of King Tutankhamun. Unlike anything found before, this chamber, enshrined with gold, housed breathtaking paintings on its walls, offering not only artistic beauty, but also insight into ancient beliefs, political power plays, and even mysteries that remain unsolved to this day. The north wall of Tutankhamun's burial chamber tells a tale in 3 distinct scenes. On the far right, A, the pharaoh's successor, is seen performing the sacred opening of the mouth ceremony, a ritual essential to ensure Tut's spirit could speak and breathe in the afterlife. This ceremony is performed on Tutankhamun, depicted as Osiris, the god of the underworld, symbolizing the young king's transformation from mortal to divine. Moving to the middle of the mural, Nut, the goddess of the sky, is shown welcoming Tutankhamun, now dressed as a living king, into the divine realm. Finally, on the left, Tut is seen with his Ka, or spirit twin, being embraced by Osiris, further securing his place among the gods. But what's most intriguing about these paintings isn't just the scenes they depict, it's the sense of urgency in their creation. Historical evidence points to political turmoil at the time of Tutankhamun's death. I, eager to claim the throne before Horemheb, an army commander, could return from battle, may have rushed the burial process. This rush could explain the uneven brushstrokes and mysterious brown spots on the tomb's walls. Experts theorize that the paint may not have dried fully before the tomb was sealed, trapping moisture and allowing microbes to grow. Curiously, no other tombs in the valley show similar signs. In 2009, nearly a century after the tomb's discovery, the Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities called in the Getty Conservation Institute, or GCI, to assess the condition of these precious paintings. Surprisingly, after over 3,300 years, the murals had held up remarkably well. Despite their hurried completion, they continue to astonish researchers and visitors alike, showcasing the enduring power of ancient Egyptian craftsmanship. What an incredible journey through the haunting art and rich history of ancient Egypt. From the terrifying paintings of Gaza to the eerie discoveries at Saqqara, these paintings tell stories that have waited millennia to be unveiled. If you found these secrets as fascinating as we do, make sure to hit that like button and share this video with your fellow history buffs. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an exploration into the mysteries of the past. And let's keep the conversation going. What do you think these ancient paintings reveal about the Egyptians' beliefs in the afterlife? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive and your mind open to the wonders of history.